Okay.
There.
Engineer.
Come on, one
Is this your job?
Yeah, but they're already on.
Oh,
Elizabeth's going to fit right in. She said we need a 24-hour emergency service.
We're recording right now.
Bill, are you ready? Are you Lori tonight?
I am.
Oh, that's right.
What's going on tonight?
Do you vote for yourself?
Absentee vote.
put it on Friday.
Are you absent?
Right at the last minute.
Wait till I get done.
55.
I am going to come. Are you?
You, Catherine Killam.
I'm sorry?
Catherine Killam.
I'm afraid.
Yes, we served for a while.
Still not
City
working.
administrator out there, he'll fix it.
Well, we are recording, he said, so I suppose we could start. Maybe we just have to yell louder. Okay, I'm going to open the Tuesday, April 4th meeting of the Middleton Common Council. And hopefully these speakers will turn on eventually. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Alder Richard,
Here.
Alder West,
Present.
Alder Sullivan,
Here.
Alder Teal,
Here.
Alder Hilbert,
Here.
Alder Huttrick,
Here.
Alder Barrett, here, Alder Olson.
Here.
All present, all right. Thank you, Bill. This is the point in the meeting where we take comments from citizens present. If you'd like to address council, you have 3 minutes to do that. Are there any takers? Yes, ma'am. Hey, we're on. Hey,
Now it's
come on up.
Hey, Bill.
Use the microphone. The reason we do that is we have this recording so people can stream it online if they want to watch it.
We're fancy.
Good job.
Audience.
There you go.
Make sure that mic's on, Mike.
Nope.
No.
There you go.
Testing, testing, testing. Am I on?
You are.
No.
No, they're saying no.
I can hear you over here.
All right, everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, great. I am here under the number 4 agreements, approval of the outdoor recreation aids grant contract. I'm going down the road from this just a little bit in anticipation
Just
of what
state
might
your
be
name
coming.
and address.
My name is Margaret Washa. I live at 2870 Old Creek Road in Middleton. I've been there more than 30 years. So I'm a long-term resident here. Regarding this acquisition of the Pheasant Branch Trailhead at 6612 Century Avenue, I just have a few questions, and I'm not sure who can answer them, but I want to toss them out there and see what I get back, all right? I understand that J.T. Klein is who you will acquire this property from. I understand that you have $172,250 to assist with acquiring this property. I'm wondering how much he is asking for this property. Does anybody know? We don't know yet.
We haven't negotiated yet.
So we don't know what percentage. I mean, if this is pretty much going to
Correct.
buy it, or if this is just a little bit. Okay.
This is what the DNR does in these stewardship grants is they have an internal appraisal process, and this amount is intended to be 50% of what the DNR thinks the fair market value is.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I understand that a week from tonight, he will be before the Plan Commission to get this area rezoned. And we all know the property value will just go through the roof the minute it is rezoned, and I just hope you all keep that in mind. It was on the Plan Commission. Okay. I want to know if there's any agreement, implied or otherwise, that he will also be the developer of this property once he purchases it. I know that in the plan that he has for the Stagecoach Trail apartment building, that included in that was this development that you're talking about. a picnic area, restrooms, covered bike parking, a parking lot, stormwater enhancements, and in fantasy land here, a bike path along Century Avenue, which there's no way that there's any room for that anywhere in his plans or whatever. So I'm wondering if that is the assumption that we're going with here, that he will be the one to develop this down the road.
Well, first of all, no, he's not going to be the one to develop it. Secondly, the stuff that he put in his site plan,
Yes.
he did that on his own. I think maybe with help from Penny, but that was just there as a placeholder. It wasn't meant to be a plan for that.
No contingency or connection to this
No.
at all. Good. So that means that if his development does not get approval, it will have no impact on this whatsoever.
Well, I don't know about that, Mike. I assume that's the case, but
You understand my question? Yeah.
Or you can use mine.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the grant application was made several years ago prior to this development. So the grant application can be independent, or it could work with a proposed development there if the development's approved by the Plan Commission and the City Council. But that, as you know, remains to be seen. But the grant application was put in several years ago before he even
Okay.
approached the city.
Okay. Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure that they were separate, completely
Sure.
separate.
I don't mean to indicate that they are. They could be together, depends on what is approved by the Plan Commission and the
Right.
Council.
Still to be determined.
Correct.
Mhm. Thank you. Anybody else that would like to address council? Seeing none, I will close the comment session and go to approval of the consent agenda.
Move approval.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 1 under proclamations is the national, oh wait, Chief, you want to make a comment or two?
I do, thanks. Next week is National Telecommunicator Week.
Easy for you to say.
Apparently not. There is a proclamation, and accepting that proclamation on behalf of her dispatch staff is Supervisor Wendy McKnight. So Wendy, would you please come up, and the mayor will read you your proclamation.
Nice.
Well,
Right there.
yeah, that's fine.
Right in the middle of everything.
Okay, this is the City of Middleton proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Telecommunicators Week. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require the prompt response of police, fire, or emergency medical services, which are critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Middleton Police Department Communications Center. And whereas the public safety dispatchers are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services and are the single vital link for our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas the public safety dispatchers of the Middleton Police Department have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients through their commitment and dedication to public safety. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their duties in the past year. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Middleton declares the week of April 9th through April 15th to be the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Middleton in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keeps our city and citizens safe. Congratulations. Oh, okay.
All right.
Get that picture. It's going to be hard to get after a while.
One of the last ones. Ouch.
Thanks, Wendy. And
Thanks,
next
Wendy.
on the proclamation list is a proclamation for Officer Jerry Raffles, who's retiring after 28 years. Officer Raffles couldn't be here tonight. He's actually in Florida. But he's flying in. He'll be here The last 2 days of work are Wednesday and Thursday, hopefully. So we would invite you guys to come. We're having a get together, a coffee and cake at 3 o'clock on Thursday. Everybody is welcome. And the mayor has a proclamation for Jerry also.
And I will be at that meeting, but I have to drive bus until 4:30, so
Where are you
I'll
going to
be.
park that bus, Mayor?
I might have to come straight after the route, right to the.
Right out front of the police
Right now.
department.
This is a proclamation honoring Officer Jerry Raffles' service to the city of Middleton. Whereas Jerry Raffles has announced his retirement as a police officer with the Middleton Police Department after serving the city since April 24th, 1989, and whereas Jerry's starting salary was $21,987 per year, and whereas Jerry has served the residents of Middleton with the highest distinction, always going above and beyond the call of duty, and whereas Jerry has worked every conceivable shift in the law enforcement field, including day shift, second shift, early cover shift, late cover shift, and the dreaded graveyard shift, and whereas Jerry has superbly served the position of patrol officer and school resource officer during his career, and whereas Jerry has received two, George is sitting over here, I just had it on mine. Whereas Jerry has received 2 life-saving awards during his career, and whereas Jerry has received numerous department commendations above and beyond the Call of Duty awards, letters of appreciation from allied police agencies, and countless thank you letters from citizens, and whereas Jerry has been recognized for his work as the department's vehicle and equipment maintenance officer. You're right, what hasn't he done? And whereas Jerry's positive outlook and demeanor reflect positively on the police department and everyone in town seems to know him, and whereas Jerry's dedication to the youth of our community is outstanding, his basketball and football coaching have enabled him to interact and change the lives of many youths, and whereas Jerry will be missed by city staff, citizens, and most notably by the Middleton Police Department staff, because we know him as a good cop, but an even better person and friend. Now, therefore, I, Kurt Sonntag, Mayor of the City of Middleton, hereby proclaim, honor, and commend Jerry Raffles for his distinguished career of public service to the city and wish him a pleasant, healthy, and prosperous retirement on this first day of May. May? Is that his? That's his official date. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Jerry. And I have to say, as a bus driver, I've driven Jerry to several basketball tournaments with his team. He does a great job.
I can attest to that. My son had him for a coach, and it was just a great experience and made a big difference in his life. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thanks, Chief. Now there's something on here called Proclamation for honor of Mayor Sonntag. I don't know what that's about, Mike.
Susan's ready to read it.
I'm ready.
Oh,
It hasn't
have
been-
at it.
It hasn't been divulged to the public yet.
Yeah.
Are you worried?
Yeah, I am, but
Okay, this is a proclamation honoring Mayor Kurt Sonntag's service to the city of Middleton from 1998 to 2017, and proclaiming Kurt J. Sonntag Day in Middleton on April 12, 2017. Whereas Kurt J. Sonntag has served the city of Middleton for the past 19 years, 1998 to 2017, in various capacities, including as mayor from 2007 to 2017. And whereas his distinguished service to the city for nearly 2 decades includes Park Recreation and Forestry Commission, including chairperson from 1998 to 2003, Common Council from 2003 to 2007, and during his council tenure, Finance Committee, including chairperson, Community Development Authority, and Plan Commission, including chairperson as mayor. And whereas Mayor Kurt has guided and presided over a tremendous decade of success and growth, including Money Magazine's CNN's recognition of Middleton as the best place to live in America in 2007, and subsequent top 10 finishes in 2009 and 2011. Also during his tenure, the city has built new headquarters for fire, EMS, police, and a municipal operations center, as well as a new Pleasant View Golf Clubhouse, all of which are long-term public improvements for the community. And whereas Mayor Sonntag has guided and promoted strong economic development gains coupled with vast improvements in public land stewardship and environmental and sustainability initiatives, all of which have been fostered through his steady, fair, and humble leadership. Moreover, he has provided such leadership while maintaining a sunny disposition, bright smile, and a hearty laugh, all symbolic of the good neighbor city. Undoubtedly, we will miss his distinctive ringtones during public meetings.
Nice.
Bad to the bone.
Okay. Now, therefore, we, the Middleton Common Council, do hereby proclaim, honor, and commend Kurt J. Sonnentag for his tremendous 19-year tenure of distinctive public service to the city in many capacities, especially as mayor of our beloved city. We hereby designate April 12, 2017 as Kurt J. Sonnentag Day in Middleton and urge the community to recognize his contributions. On this fourth day of April 2017, we extend our well wishes to Mayor Kurt, his wife Chris, and their family for a happy, healthy, and fulfilling retirement.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Say something.
Yeah, now I can sit down? Yeah. Well, thank you all. I appreciate that.
We need another picture there, Mike.
Yeah, we do. Susan handing it to you.
Okay. Well, I've changed my ringtone recently. I don't know if
Yeah.
the new one.
What's the new one?
The new one actually is a kinder, gentler one. Let me see if I can get it here.
I'll miss you grabbing for your pocket.
So while we're waiting on that ringtone,
Here.
we have April 12th as celebrating their tenure as president of all.
You find that very close by the seaside.
You are retiring.
All right, come on in so we can get your picture. Good timing, man.
Very sunny.
Okay, I said tonight's meeting would be over by 8:30.
Oh,
So
we
we
got
got
10 minutes.
You're going.
You got 10 minutes to go.
Okay.
Okay, item 1 under agreements is memorandum of understanding or agreement with the Dane County Aerial Photography.
Approval is recommended by finance.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is the 2017-18 road salt agreement.
Move approval is recommended by finance.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3 is assignment of hangar land lease, Lot 22.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing now, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is the approval of outdoor recreation aids grant contract for Gerhardt acquisition for Pheasant Branch Trailhead.
Move we accept the grant as recommended by finance.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is a memorandum of understanding with Acquire Restoration, Inc.
I'll move we defer this.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is design engineering services for Pheasant Branch stream bank stabilization.
Move approval is recommended by finance and stormwater utility.
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 1 under award of bid quote and professional service is the award of professional services for tree planting.
Move approval is recommended by finance.
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 1 under CSM plat is the certified survey map for Berry, 7300 Century Place.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment that this is a young family that's looking to build a house. It's an infill project to the city, and this is just exactly what we'd like to see happen. That's in town.
Very good. Anybody else? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is ordinance's first reading, item 1. Just to remind everybody, this final action may be taken upon approval of motion to suspend the rules under section 1.07. And this is an ordinance to amend section 2.14 parent 1 and 2.14 parent 5 of the Middleton Code of Ordinances.
Can you explain what that is for our citizens, because they're going to be clueless?
Would you like to do that?
Sure. This is an ordinance that would change the composition of the youth commission for the city, and would, and the other changes are really more typographical than anything.
Is that satisfactory?
Yeah.
I move approval as approved by the Commission on Youth.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And under planning and zoning,
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
did that include waiving second reading?
No.
Hear it.
didn't hear it,
Okay,
no.
I didn't hear it either.
Item 1 under planning and zoning is the concept review for the proposed tax incremental financing District 3 project for public parking at property west of Market West Apartments.
Move approval is recommended by the Finance Committee.
Second.
Discussion? Yes.
The discussion at Finance was, worthy of having, because it's not every day that a business comes in and offer to provide something that our ordinance requires they provide themselves. But what the city has in this situation is the ability to negotiate with other property owners that need things from the city. And with that comes our ability in the TIF district to utilize land that would otherwise be undevelopable to a private property owner, or undesirable or costly to develop for them. There's no real potential to take this area where a parking lot is going to go. The Market West building does not need to have more parking here. They're not going to put a building here that would increase value to the TIF district. So we can take a piece of land that has very low potential for more increment and use that to build increment on other properties, saving developable properties such as the co-op site and other options that we might have to look at for structured parking or other options like that, where we would definitely need to expect some sort of financial agreement between the property owner or the leasee. But this is not something that Vanta or Artis or PPD can do just by going over to Market West. They really need our assistance and our TIF team's assistance to look at the big picture of what's going on. So right now we're just looking at concept review. Larry's going to have to draft some documents, and we'll have some decisions to make in policy about how long-term we want this to be, whether we retain ownership of the land or if there's a swap. But this is what we do really well. And to not do it and to turn our back on our largest employer, not going to be good for anybody.
Thanks, Hans. Anybody else? We had a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 1 under committee appointments is the Commission on Youth appointment of Danielle Barini.
I move approval, Mayor.
Is there a second? Discussion. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I just want to make one more comment. We didn't introduce our new council member, did we?
She had a big introduction last week.
Well, she did. She did. But this is her first meeting. You did great. You want to tell people about yourself?
Good work, right?
You were at the meeting last week. I think I spoke for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you did. Well said. I like her already.
I know, great.
Well, hearing Howard.
Motion to adjourn.
Just like to make a comment. It's not very often I get an opportunity to poke fun at George and his newspaper, but I got to do it this week. You laughing already? At our last council meeting, according to the newspaper, it appeared as if I fell asleep about 9 o'clock on a motion that I made, and I forgot a word, which I thank Joanna for piping up and saying you forgot the word "not" in the motion. And I'll have to apologize for that because I was trying to get it done so that we could get the heck out of this place. But nevertheless, George did point out in his magazine that I looked like I didn't get my nap or I had to go to bed early at night. So, George, just to let you know that you're probably pretty close to being right because that morning started around 5:30. So, starting tomorrow morning when I drive by your house with my school bus, I'm going to start honking the horn. To get you out of bed.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm up at 5:30. Clear me. I quit.
Any other comments?
That's awesome.
Of relevance.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I think we've already done that.
Did we all do that? Okay, we're adjourned.